Hi guys, so you wanna know what's it like being black in Whistler? Well, let me tell you, it's not good. You would be the only black guy there is. There aren't many black people living there. And this video is helpful for anyone with a skin tone that's other than white. So I'm not just talking about being black, because I was talking to my Japanese coworker and she was fed up with how different she gets treated as well. By the way, the video you're watching right now is just me walking through the main village in Whistler on Canada Day. As for me, my home is a city. I live in the city normally, so there's a lot of diversity. Because of that, there isn't that much racism going on. So when I moved to Whistler, being the only black person there is, and how the people living in Whistler looked at me was kind of like, I didn't like it. Well, I'll give you some examples of what I experienced. And it was the small things, like always getting stared at wherever you go. Small things like that I just started hating it. And may I add, my biggest issue and why I decided to make this video was middle-aged white women. I don't know why or what's causing this strange phenomena, but it was always, well, not always, but mostly middle-aged white women I had problems with. So let me give you some examples now. My first example, let me think. My first example was when I was walking through this massive car park. I was walking through this car park and this lady who got out of the car saw me, got back in the car, locked the doors, and just stared at me until I got to the end of the car park. Even then, she kept looking at me while she was walking away. Like, what the fuck, lady? I was wearing my uniform, my name badge and everything. Like, come on. Another example was when I was waiting in line at the post office. I was watching the two ladies at the counter giving their amazing customer service. They were all smiles, they were very helpful to everyone. And then it was my turn. I was at the front of the line. And one of the ladies' customers was all finished and he walked away. Now, what was happening until now was that the lady at the counter would smile and wave the next customer over to her. But she didn't do that with me. She just stood there with a blank, dumb bitch looking face, secretly trying to peek at the other lady's screen to see if she's nearly finished. When she found out that she's not nearly finished, she just stood there with that face. And at this point, it was getting quite awkward because there was people, like a whole bunch of people lined up behind me. So I walked over to her thinking, I'm not gonna let her bring my positivity down, right? So I smiled and said, "Hi, how are you?" And her response was, "Yes." Like, come on, what? You guys have no idea, like, And black people, you will get stared at all the time. I hated it. I purposefully waited until nightfall to go out and do my shopping. And guess what happened when I did that? I nearly got arrested walking home from McDonald's with my McDonald's bag. It was crazy. I was just walking on the footpath and this cop car pulled up real fast onto the footpath right in front of me. They didn't get out of the car straight away. They were just, I don't know, they were doing something on their computer thing. And I didn't want to get in the way, so I started walking around the car. They got out, grabbed me by my shoulder, yanks me back, and says, "Where do you think you're going?" And at this point, I was really confused. I didn't know what was happening. They started asking me questions about some party I don't even know of. And luckily, during this time, another cop car was driving by the opposite direction, turned around, stopped, and said that they got the guy who was causing trouble at the party. Like, really? They saw me walking and in a split second they thought it was me causing the trouble. I wasn't even near any houses. I don't know what that was. Okay guys, I'm just gonna leave this video there. These are just some of what I experienced while living in Whistler. I don't like making videos like this. It's a bit too negative for me. but I felt like I had to share my experience, and hopefully my experience would help someone out there. I did make a video on pros and cons of living in Whistler, so you can check out that video if you want to get some more con points or if you want to hear about the pros of living in Whistler. And trust me, there are some pros. I'll leave the link to that video in the description. Until then, bye bye.